Hello friends, welcome to the video series on usability engineering. Today my topic is from unit number 5. It is guidelines for internationalization and types of icon. The objective of today's video lecture are to learn different types of icon and to understand the guidelines for internationalization. Now I want to make my graphical interface as a international. Means it simply means that it is going to be useful for everyone throughout the world. So it might seem that current trend towards the graphical interface and use of icon instead of word might solve the international user problem. This is not so, as icons and color connotations are not necessarily be the universal. They are going to appear differently. Here I want to explain this with one example of a mailbox icon. A mailbox icon is often used in electronic mail application, but the mailbox actually looks very different in a different countries. It is going to carry the different color also. So only by using an icon, I cannot make a graphical interface as a international. To continue with this topic, let's see the different types of icon. Icon can be classified in 3 different categories according to their graphic design. The first one as resemblance icon, the second one as the reference icon, and the third one as the arbitrary icons. We are going to see one by one with examples. Let's see the first one as resemblance icon. Representing a physical object which the icon is intended to represent. Using a picture of an envelope to represent a file of electronic mail would be a resemblance icon. We have to find out an icon in a manner that it is going to be represent the actual object, the physical object. The main usability challenge for the resemblance icon is to design an image that actually look like the intended object. I have given you the examples as the first one as the dustbin. With this symbol, I may going to come that this is the dustbin. The symbol of the pen can be used for telling the user that edit permission is there. The symbol of a floppy is going to tell user that it is the save option. By using this option, I am going to save the information. The next one as the reference icon. Showing some object which by reference or analogy might represent the concept the icon is intended to represent. Reference icons are sometimes also called the symbolic icons, are also called as an index icon. Here I have taken the example of file comprehension. The motto behind giving the example of file comprehension is that you can see that in a first figure, the file is compressed from 50 KB to 20 KB. So this is the example of resemblance icon. But I want the example to be as a reference icon. So the same can be shown as the clamp. So using a picture of a clamp to represent a file comprehension utility. So in a reference, we try to find out the process which is going to be carried out. That is an analogy which is going to use to represent that particular intended object. The next type of icon is arbitrary icon. Arbitrary shapes have meaning by convention. Traffic signals are often an arbitrary icon and may form a good source of a computer icon. Arbitrary icons are hardest for a user to learn. For example, a warning triangle might be used as an icon for warning message. A question mark symbol. So this symbol is going to tell the user about the question. This is about the arbitrary icon. Next is guideline for internationalization. Here, internationalization means developing a code in a way that can be useful overseas also. So, internationalization is a process of designing and developing a software or any web application so that they can be easily adapted to various language, cultural environment without additional programming or engineering. For internationalization is closely connected to globalization and localization. For achieving the same, several practical considerations need to be embedded deeply in a way in any implementation to ensure that the resultant code will be useful overseas. This is going to be difficult if there are more than one language on a given form. So for the same, we are going to see some of the important parameters which we have to take care while doing the internationalization of any software or of any web application. Let's see the first one, characters. Now many countries have character state that extend beyond the capital A to capital Z alphabets used in English and the original ASCII character set. Many countries have very large character set that cannot be encoded in a 256 different values of 8-bit byte. Normally, when I develop any software, then I may going to consider a 8-bit methodology where 256 different values will be there. But those are not going to be sufficient for me. So I have to go with the 16-bit which are going to use to represent now the each character. And this facility should be there in your software. My software should handle this. Handling a character set become even more complicated if several languages need to be represented in the same document. Imagine the web application where I'm using the two different language. Suppose the one adds the French and the another one adds the English. Both are having the different character set. So my web application software should be designed in a manner that it should handle the both languages. The next one adds the number and the currency. Different notations are used for numbers in a different countries. The main difference is probably the character used for the decimal point. Normally, the one methodology, the one way of representing the number which is used in our country is a dot. It is again applicable for the countries like Japan and China also. But when I take an example of Belgium, then they use a comma instead of a point. If I take an example of Switzerland, that is for computing, they again use a dot, but the way of representation is different one. Again the same example of Switzerland, but while doing the handwriting, they use a comma. So the way of representing a number as well as the currency is different for different countries. So while making any web application to be the international standard, then we have to take care of this thing also. Then comes the next one as the time and measurement unit. User interface need to handle the different measurement system. The time of the day is sometimes written in 24 hours notation and sometimes it is written in the 12-hour notation. Let's see the different notation for writing the dates. The first one as day, month, year. The second one as day, month, dash, year. Next one as month, day and year. The next one as year, month, dot, day. Next one as year, month and date. So these are the different notations which are going to be used by the different companies. So it's better to specify these notations at the side where you are asking the user to enter the date, so that it will be easy for the user to understand that in which format he is going to enter the date. I have taken the reference from the book Usability Engineering by Jaco. Thank you for listening.